Hey there, welcome to episode 246. It's Thursday night. Good evening to all of you. Looks like a lot of you checking in quickly. Debbie, Emma's here, Marsha's here, Carrie, Diane, Coletta, Connie over on Facebook. Shannon checks in, and Marie checks in over on YouTube. Good evening to all of you. Let's see who else. I know quite a few of you popped at the beginning. Dina popped in early. Anna out of Tallahassee. Kim Jones checks in. Janice says hello. Lee says he's on the way home now. He just sent it on Twitter. Brooke is here. Anna's here. Susan checking in from California. Good evening to you. Jessica, good evening to you. Hope all is well. Anna says, listen to episode 154 this morning. So good. Man, that's 100 episodes ago almost. Woo! Very nice. Very nice. Jamie is here. Let's see who else is here. Oh, I think I got most of you at this point. May, I think I got you. Let's see. Very fun. So there you go. Lisa said, finally made another live show. Me too. That's the exciting part. Man, what a crazy day it's been. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get this done or not. I had a big commitment I had to get done ahead of time. So it's why we're a little late. It's why there's no notification other than here we are, which I think is cool too. Many people will wake up tomorrow morning and there'll be an app in the App Store, and there'll be an episode in the app, and they'll just wake up. They'll wake up good. Jan says hello. I tried to watch the YouTube podcast and told me I had to create a channel. Not sure about that. So no, it seems to be you shouldn't have to create a channel for sure. Wendy checks in from Missouri. Missouri. Good evening to you and Travis. Hope all is well there. Sue says hello. Catherine checks in from PA. Good evening, Catherine. Hope all is well with you. Lori Lost. Hi, Mike. Good evening to you as well. So we're episode 246. I got a major announcement. Many of you probably already know, but a major announcement. I won't keep you in suspense long. It has to do with the Indie Ultimate and the date with that. I think most of you probably already know. But I'll certainly share that when during the episode, just before the episode as well. But we got that locked in. Well, not locked in. That date has been locked in. So we'll get that. Chris checks in for Virginia, Illinois. Lisa checks in. Marcy checks in from Wisconsin. And Debbie says, in from the NICU. So very nice. Jeff says, hey folks, to you. Very nice. Yeah, if you participated in the 2018 Indie Ultimate, you should have got an email today. So, Jacob, good evening to you, sir. Jamie says, Yahoo, I will be going. That makes one of us. Very fun. Anna says, the dream room looks so good. I'm actually making some modifications, so I'll show you it again just because I like it. This is my planner, right? This is my planner. And in my planner, I started drafting plans for... I have a guy coming over Saturday, to help me with the design plans. So this is kind of what I'm working on, is to build a podcast studio down in my basement. So this section right here will be the entire studio. It's about 28 feet by 10 to 11, depending on. And then on this side over here, I'll put a 2 treadmills, or a treadmill and an elliptical, and like a hardwood... like a basketball court kind of floor. It's kind of the plan. If you're going to make a podcast studio about fitness and health, you got to have a gym included, right? I think that's, I don't know, I think that's the only way to do that. So I have a studio engineer coming over Saturday. A lot of you, I put this on Instagram. A lot of you were confused, and I apologize for that. Because our house that we are in now, we have 2 living rooms, and so this living room we converted to an office, and then I converted that to a podcast studio. So just over there is the rest of the house and the other living room. So when I said I needed to get the studio out of my living room, what I meant was out of the other living room in the house, so that the rest of the house won't be bothered. The real goal is to put this studio down in the basement, soundproof the entire thing so I can yell into the microphone all night long, and no one hears me except for those listening through a computer system. So that's kind of the real goal. It's kind of a dream, right? But I need to know what that dream's going to cost me. I need to know what the dream's going to look like so I can go forward and make it work. So it's not much different than our weight loss goal, right? You have to know what the dream is. You have to kind of have a plan. You have to have a roadmap. You just don't wake up and say, let's see what happens. So I'm in that same boat. Will it work? I believe it will. And that's as much as I got. Is I'm going to believe until it does. Marie says if you can dream it, then you can do it, and it starts with a dream. So real quick, you guys know, for the most part, absolutely those who are helping with this dream are the folks who've stepped up in the Patreon community. Thank you, all of you, for doing that. I haven't updated it in the last day and a half, but here's some of the wingmen who've done that. Always, always, always appreciate that support. I kind of did some rough math, right? And I don't know what the studio is going to cost, but I promise you I will let you know. But I just figured, the podcast gets, 5,000 to 7,000 downloads like that. It's like, man, seems like we should be able to build this together. And the reality is if we build it properly, then there's no excuse for not a daily show. I could have been home at 5 o'clock this afternoon and gotten a show in. Instead, I have to wait till the kind of house settles down. But anyway, enough about that. I just thought it was cool. Connie says, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea, too. I'm excited about it. So, Colette says, I would like to go to the Indie Ultimate, but cannot find it on the internet. Since I wasn't there last year, I did not get the email. I'm not sure how that works. If you can register without that. So I'll have to look. I honestly don't know. Let's see. Susan says, time to increase our donation soon. Okay. I like that. And I got a couple little tricks in there to help you with that. So cool. Lisa said, did I see Minneapolis on the list? Any idea when? No. You may have seen it on the list. Here is what everything goes in my planner, right? So here is what I have. Here's what I have written down. I have Houston, Atlanta, New York City, Phoenix, Tulsa, Toronto, North Conway, New Hampshire, Tampa, Indy, Minneapolis, Seattle, and St. Louis. That's what has made the short list at this point. Haven't locked in anything, but those are the cities that I'm now looking for things to do in those cities. So that's the short list. So what'll probably happen, one or two of those will change as dates work or don't work. So that's kind of the game plan with that. Marcia says several people have already registered who have not registered before. So somehow the link is available. I bet you in the WhysWingman group someone's posted it. I registered already for the 8:30 time slot, FYI. I'm not 100% sure yet I can make it, but I did go ahead and register. Take that for what it's worth. Let's see. Marie says, I don't think it's public yet. Yeah, we may be able to share the link. So let's post the link if we can. John says, Kansas City, please. St. Louis may be as close as I get, which I know is not even close to Kansas City. But that's the deal. Jamie says, Jay from New Hampshire. Yeah, it'll be the White Mountains, really. That's the plan. But that conflicts with another event. So that's why I said things may change. Anyway, so again, when I get it out there, I will certainly get it out there. I don't do it to be secretive. I do it because I don't want you to commit to something that I'm not going to be able to commit to. It's that simple. Trying to save you guys from jumping through hoops without on things that I can't jump through hoops to get to. Jessica's, please, not Phoenix in the summer. Hoping to go to Seattle meetup in a great city. Yeah, I think the original thought is Phoenix is like April sometime. Is the tentative hope. I'm just not sure if I can. Again, I'm just not sure with all of that. So, whew. Cheryl says, heck yeah, a lot of us are at 8:30. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, I'm in the 8:30 slot. Kathy says, I just came on. What's this all about? So Kathy, we do a podcast. We talk about health and wellness. We talk about weight loss. Predominantly, many of us are following the WW weight loss strategy, although certainly do not have to by any stretch of the imagination. If you are, some of this makes sense. But we focus on why you want to get healthy. Listeners and you guys write in, share your stories. I read your stories, and about 5 minutes or so, we'll actually take the show live. You'll get to see an actual live recording. Pull the microphone down, we'll do the show, and then it'll all be in the app the tomorrow morning when we wake up. FatDag.com is the website. So that is what this is all about. I think it's kind of fun. So Jeff says, that's what did Jeff say? Jeff says it's the Patreon supporters. Casey says, I'm going to bring my sister because she wants to come. Very nice. Jan says April is perfect for Phoenix. I agree. John says, I have a huge fan base in Kansas City. Yeah, and I have real good friends in Kansas City as well. So I'm going to scribble it in the book, but only as an alternative if something else doesn't pan out. So let me just at least scribble it for you, John. No, again, no commitment of any sort. So let's see, Kansas City. All right, it's officially at least written down. Means nothing other than the fact that it's written down, but it's written down. so that means when I start getting the final details, it's written down. So very nice, cool. Let's see. Marie shared the link. I have to hit show because it thinks it's spam. So on YouTube, the link is there. If you want to visit that. It looks like she posted it in the Wingman group as well. So the link is available on both Facebook and YouTube. Very nice. So we're looking at the 8:30 time slot. Again, I am not 100% certain I can make the event. So if that matters to you, then fine. If it doesn't matter to you, which it shouldn't, but I get if you're traveling in, then may or may not. There'll be plenty of others there who will. I promise you I will do my best to make it. So that's the commitment. So anyway, that's the big announcement. So this episode is 246. On this episode, we are talking about the Indie Ultimate. June 29th, 8:30 a.m. is the time slot that I've already registered for. Casey out of Indianapolis, she's joining us live on Facebook. I see that. Helen out of Columbus, Ohio, she has an email coming in. And then Mary also writes in out of Houston. And I'll be in Houston in just a couple weeks, which is kind of exciting. So that's the game plan. Yeah, Cheryl, I live here. Right, but this isn't the only thing I do. Right, I had already had a previous trip scheduled around that time frame to go somewhere else. So I have to now logistically make some modifications to that trip and see if I can make the two work together. So I was going to be out of town. The Indie Ultimate, they do a great job, but they move their date based on the venue's availability. Certainly understandable. So that is that's the deal with that. So anyway, that's what 246 is about. Are you ready for this episode? I cheated a little bit. I apologize. I've already cracked the water because I was doing the show. I needed a drink, so I've already dug in. I started digging into the water. Jackie says, can you say hello to my daughter, Michaela? Hello, Michaela. How are you? Hope all is well. Say hi to your mom. Very fun. Cool. I can absolutely do that. Marie says, I'd love you there, but there's a whole group of wingmen who will represent you well, I promise. Yep. I am like, I mean, if I were to bet, I think I'm in the 95% chance that I'm going to make it. I can't say 100 today. So Barb says, would you please also add the date to your episode number? Thank you. What do you mean, Barb? As far as in the app, I mean, everywhere you can get the episode, it shows you the date it was recorded. So I'm not sure what that means. So, so I don't know. I just clarify, and I mean, I don't have any rules about doing it or not doing it. So, sure, I can do that. I just don't know what I don't know what you're asking. All right, let's do episode 246. I want to get this done. It's late. It's late on the East Coast. Lori says, thank you, internally proud. I love it. All right, let's do episode 246. Like I said, I've already cracked the water, so we'll finish this thing off. Let's go back to here just because it's fun. I've already cracked this one open, so I'm about halfway down, so I'm a little bit cheating. But cheers. Barb says, under the episode that's showing now, add the date. You mean on this screen? Add the date to that screen right there? Oh, I see what you're saying. So that maybe, so that as you're scrolling through, you see that it's a new one. Maybe. Is that what you're thinking? Hopefully, I think that's what you mean. If that is, then sure, I think I can do that. So. Kind of like that. I can do that. I think I have the capability to do that. So, all right, Barb. Hopefully that works. I'll work on that. I think that's a fair request. I'll add it somewhere. So very cool. All right, Diane says cheers. I saw it on Instagram, YouTube as well. Maria said, "Look how fancy you are." Right. Yep. Kathy says, "Yeah, that would be helpful." I think that's what she means. So. Yeah. Oh, Donna, good call. Glenda says here meeting an attendance goal. Awesome. Yep. Yeah. So I think putting the date there would help when you're scrolling through Facebook and you see it and you're not sure if it's live. You can look and make sure the date is current. I think that's what you're getting at. Fair, great feedback. Great feedback. All right, let's do episode 246. Mic check. Testing. Recording. We're recording. We're good. Thank you. You guys know that. Maria says, Melissa says, first time. Yay! Hi, Melissa. First time. So we ring a bell. I got to find it. It's right here. There's a little bell for... Yeah, if that doesn't drive you as crazy. We ring a bell when someone's here for the very first time, as long as I remember and I figure it out, all that good stuff. Cool. Leah's here. We can start the show. Let's see. Melissa says, met you in Indy. Very nice. Well, thank you. Came on your birthday. Oh, from Michigan. There was 3 of you. Right? Please say yes. 3 of you. You drove down from Michigan. It was your birthday. You had no idea you were going to a meeting. The girl said, pack an overnight bag. And, yep, the girl said, pack. So listen to this story. You guys will love this. 3 girls up in Michigan, real good friends. They all met in a Weight Watcher meeting. They weren't necessarily friends before. They met in a Weight Watcher meeting. They were all having amazing success and listening to the podcast, all that stuff. And it was Melissa's birthday. And they just before her birthday, her 2 friends said, "You know what are we going to get her for her birthday?" And they said, "Let's surprise her by kidnapping her and driving her to Indianapolis against her will and take her to a Weight Watcher meeting in Indianapolis with Mike." So that's what they did. So she had no idea. They told her husband, I believe, right? They told your husband to pack a bag. Where you're going. And so they woke up that morning and got in the car. And they started listening to the podcast. And about halfway there, they said, "Oh, by the way, we're taking you to Indianapolis for a Weight Watcher meeting to meet FatDag." So we did that. They came to the meeting. It was very disappointing, as all the meetings are. And after the meeting, the 4 of us went and had a nice quiet dinner to celebrate the birthday properly. And then they turned around the next day and drove home. Did I get most of that right, Melissa? I think that's what my memory. I think that's what my memory tells me. So. Very cool. Well, cool. Good to see you again. Hope all is going well. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in forever. Melissa says, "No way. It was completely awesome." So, yeah. Isn't that, Marie? Isn't that an awesome story? I got to tell you, when because I asked them, I said, "Why are you here?" Or I forget, something like that. And they said, "Well, we came down for your meeting," or "We came to Indy." I said, "What are you here for?" They said, "For your meeting." And I was like, "Okay." And listen, you're more than welcome to attend the meetings, right? So I put on FatDag.com the list of when I'm doing my workshops. You're more than welcome to attend. Keep an eye on, if you're coming to Indy, keep an eye on that calendar, because I don't make all of my meetings because of my schedule. And so I keep that really accurate as to what meetings I'm going to attend, which meetings I'm not going to attend. But the warning is the meeting is nothing special. I don't bring out balloons. We don't do anything. It's a typical WW meeting. So you're more than welcome. That's how the whole thing works. But just know that it's It's just a meeting, right? So cool. Ellen says hi, hello. So cool. Well, anyway, Melissa, good to see you, and thanks for that little trip down memory lane as well. I enjoyed that. That was a fun night. I had a blast. All right, episode 246. Let's do this, shall we? And we recorded that whole thing. Woo! Awesome. Are you guys ready? Yeah, Donna, I have a hard time with that workshop thing. I get it. I just have a hard time saying workshop. So, hopefully, maybe when everything, there wasn't enough change in the format for me to make the change in my head. So I still call it a meeting/workshop, and I'm probably get in trouble for doing that. But I try very hard to call it a workshop in WW, but I'm not that good at that. All right, let's do episode 246. Here we go. We're recording. We're good there. Nora says South Carolina is here, so you can start now. Very cool. I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 246. Always fun to hang out with you. It's Thursday night. We're recording this on January 10th. Tomorrow morning, got a very special, by the time this app gets out there, tomorrow's kind of a really big day. Got a major announcement. It's probably the most important day of the year. Many of you know. Many of you don't know, but tomorrow morning, Janine wakes up. She's just 1 year older, so that puts her just a shy over 21. So we'll sing a big happy birthday to her in the morning. I want to make sure I didn't go much further without recognizing that. That's the most important thing in my life, so we go forward from there. After that, the Indiana Sports Corp has announced that the Indy Ultimate is coming back to Indiana. It's going to be about a 5 mile, they call it urban adventure. You run into Lucas Oil Stadium, you run into Bankers Life Fieldhouse. I haven't looked at the course, so I could be off a little bit. In years past, this is what they've done. You shoot a free throw, you kick a field goal. We used to run into the soccer stadium. And so you run into all the major Indianapolis venues. It ends up being about a 5 mile run. We had an absolute blast last year doing the Indy Ultimate. This year, the date has been released. It's June 29th. That's the date that they picked. I have already signed up. I've already committed my $41, I think is what it was. I have signed up for the 8:30 time slot. Now, I tell you, I'm not 100% convinced I can make it, but if I can make it, that will be the time slot I'm going to be in. I've already paid. It's non-refundable, so I'm going to work very hard to do that. I'm about a 95% sure that I'm going to be able to make that. So anyway, the Indy Ultimate, if those of you interested, I know many of you are, June 29th in Indianapolis, and 8:30 is the time slot that we've signed up for. So I'm trying to build a team, but if you register already, modify your registration under the event, says event/employer or something like that. Just put FatDag in there and see how many of us we can get together, and maybe that'll help them link us all together. That's the game plan there. Anyway, episode 246 comes to you again live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Always fun to hang out with the crowd. You guys are great. It's a great before the show just to kind of get comfortable with each other and just say hello and welcome new members and people who are returning. And it's just such a great little community. Truly fun to be there. This very first email comes in out of Indianapolis. It comes in from Casey, who's joining us live on Facebook. She says, "Hi, Mike. Hey, I've been hanging around the forums for the past few months, but I've yet to write in. A recent event compelled me to share about me and my why. I, like so many, have been overweight my whole life. I have struggled to lose weight and keep it off countless times as well. 5 years ago, I joined WW, lost 100 pounds, but couldn't keep it off. I moved to Indy, got a job, and the weight returned. Ashamed, I never returned to WW until recently. I understand now what my problem was. I didn't have a why. Sure, I can track points and exercise, but I never worked on me. Losing weight didn't solve any issues or help me like myself any better. I began again late October 2018 on what will be my last start date. This time feels different. I have worked on myself and I finally am at a place where I have made peace with myself. I actually like myself. My way came to me when I went hiking with my best friend in September. We ended up hiking in quite a rough ravine for about a mile. There were times I wanted to give up, but I never did, and I kept pushing forward. I can do anything I put my mind to. I want to live a happy, active life. I want to be able to go on many adventures and not be held back even a little bit by my weight. I want to look and feel better in my clothes. Last night I added to my why. My best friend and I decided that we wanted to go to the Florida Ren Fair in March of 2020. Florida is his home state, so this is a big thing. I want to be at goal by this time. I want to thank you, FatDag, and all the other wingmen for the community. I love all of the support and the place where we can walk through this journey together. I've lost 26 pounds to date, and I am on a roll. There is no stopping me. Casey out of Indianapolis. Casey, excellent email. I love it. Very, very, very cool. Congrats on your 26-pound weight loss. You understand this journey differently than many people. And so that is incredible to you to have that power and inspiration and that knowledge that you've done this before. Now, I understand the mindset, right? It took me multiple times to figure out that I want to do this long term for the rest of my life. It was not an easy realization to come to, but I, like you, have also come to that. So I've lost and gained many pounds over and over again and quit the program altogether for many years. And that doesn't work for me. So now you are coming back from that same place, understanding the exact same thing, and down 26 pounds, you know you can do this. The fact that you lost 100 the first time, which is an amazing accomplishment. The fact that you did that proves to you now that you can also do it again. Nothing changes in that regard, so congratulations there. I want to touch base on this one sentence that really stood out to me. Ashamed, I never returned to WW until recently. I want to chat about that, and here's why. I believe that feeling is probably the most common feeling of all of us, right? Those of us who've joined multiple times, when we finally determine that we want to go back, it takes us many days to bring up the courage to go back. I think in some cases we're afraid the leader's not going to welcome us back. We're afraid there's going to be people in the room that are going to judge us for coming back. I believe that we fear so much that just doesn't need to be feared. So I want to just blow this thing out right now and just be done with that. And so all of you can just push it aside. I believe there's shame internally that we harvest when we miss a weigh-in or we overeat on accident or something happens and we're even up a pound or two, and we just get to the point where we don't even want to know from week to week, and we're ashamed from week to week. You got to get past that. There is nothing in this journey that doesn't relate to somebody else. Every single person who's done this journey has experienced this, one way, shape, or form or another. So to understand that there is shame in that, it's an internal feeling that I want you to push aside. I promise you, as a coach now, when members come back after being gone for a week or two or longer, I tell you, it makes me smile from ear to ear. I promise you, that's exactly how I feel when I see someone come back. I don't say, oh, here they come again, or oh, look at that. I don't do any of that. I go, oh, that's so awesome that they're back. It's so awesome that they got to a point where they understood they're going to be doing this for life, and they're back at it again already. That's the feeling that I have. So I don't think for a second there's any shame. And it doesn't matter if you lost 100 pounds and gained it all back plus some. That doesn't matter. What matters is you've proven you can do it. What matters is now you've proven you want to do it again, which means you have everything you need to be successful. You have a plan, You have a plan that works. You have a plan that you know works for you. You have a plan that you've been able to follow. You have a group. You have everything you need. So there's no shame in having all the tools available to you to get it done. Now, very cool. You started walking again in October 2018. Went on this hike, which sounded like it was an amazing time, and you're out with a friend, just enjoying it. I think that's awesome. I think the piece that you make the most sense in your email is, I've worked on myself, and I'm finally at a place where I have made peace with myself and I actually like myself. Just FYI, that's what goal is. The scale has no idea. The scale can't measure that. Only you can measure that. So I'm going to give you a big congratulations for getting to a place where you take you seriously, where you like who you are, and honestly, nothing else matters. You can certainly love who you are, you can certainly like yourself, and you can certainly want to continue to improve. But you don't have to hate yourself to want to improve yourself. You can love yourself quite a bit and still wish to improve it. I promise you again, if you're working from a place of self-love and then improving, it's a much different journey than trying to work from a place of hate and then trying to improve. So get to the point in your journey, all of you listening now, get to the point of the journey where you've accepted who you are today. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't wake up tomorrow, down 50 pounds, down 100 pounds, whatever your dreams and wishes are. You can't do that overnight. You can wake up tomorrow happy with who you are, happy with the plan that you've chosen, happy with the direction that you're headed, and accept all of that. When you bring in that acceptance and you start liking yourself again, you start treating yourself better. When you start treating yourself better, you start acting better, and then you start feeling better, and it snowballs. That's what you want to do. You absolutely can put your mind, you can do anything you put your mind to. What I want you to put your energy towards is put your mind to taking care of you. Put your mind to putting you first. Put your mind to making sure that all your basic needs are met with self-care and love, and everything else falls into place. So last piece is you have a goal to be at goal by March of 2020. I would again argue that you're already there. Now, regardless of what the scale says in March of 2020, you are there mentally now. You're capable of enjoying that time. I'm a big believer in, I don't like setting hard dates with numbers attached to them. I don't like saying I want to be at my goal weight by such and such a date. I don't like saying I want to be down 100 pounds by December 31st. Because the reason I'm not a fan of that is I like setting goals on things that I can actually achieve. You have no ability to control what the scale is going to tell you tomorrow morning. You have the ability to exercise more, to move more, to eat better. Those abilities you actually have. And you can track those and you can measure those. So I would set a goal for, I want to track X amount of days in 2019. I want to work out X amount of days. I want to run X amount of miles. I want to walk X amount of steps. Something along those lines that you actually can track and measure is good. The fear I have for someone who says, I want to lose 100 pounds in 2019 is if you come up on December 31st and you're down 98 pounds, I don't want you for a second to be disappointed at all. And there would be no reason to. But if you set a hard, fast goal of 100, and I'm making your number up for you, but if you set a hard, fast goal of, in your case, 74 pounds by by December 31st, or by March of 2020, and you come up and you're 70 pounds down from now, I think that's success. I think if you're anything, that's success. But if you wake up and you're tracking and you're still healthy and you're still loving yourself, celebration. If you love yourself, you're going to enjoy the trip no matter who's there, no matter what else is going on. That's what I'm after for you. So, Casey, very, very nice to have this chat with you. There is no stopping you. There's no stopping you. So you know you can do this. You've proven you can do this. So let's go ahead and just keep on with the things you can control, and we'll get it done. Thank you for writing in, for sure. It's a great, great, great job. Great email. Appreciate all of that. Out of Columbus, Ohio, Helen writes in. She says, hi, I became a WW Lifetime member today. I not only maintained through the holidays, I managed to lose another 2 pounds, which put me 3 pounds under goal. That's not to say I didn't gain a little from celebrating the holiday, but I immediately got back on plan and I lost it within a few days. I wrote in when I hit goal and probably wouldn't have written in again, but your podcast on January 5th asked us to write in if we're proud of ourselves, and that prompted me to write in again today because I certainly am very proud of myself today. I started WW on January 16th, 2018. It wasn't easy. I had a 3-month plateau, losing and gaining the same couple of pounds that tested my determination. But I just stuck with it. With persistence, I managed to lose 44.8 pounds, make goal, and now lifetime in just under a year's time. I think that's worth celebrating. It's so nice not to be self-conscious when getting dressed or walking into a room. I can't say that I've always looked in the mirror and have seen a thin person, but I'm working on that, and I'm starting to see the overweight version of myself less and less. I do feel different, and I'm more confident. Combine that with the more energy, the smaller clothing, and normal blood pressure. Those are fantastic rewards for that year of hard work. Without a doubt, it was all worth it. Anyone can do this with the right mindset. I hope my story is helpful to anyone just starting and questioning whether it's possible. It is possible. Take the good focus that FatDag sends you at the end of every podcast and keep it. Use it to hit your goals. You have got this. As always, thank you, Mike, for all that you do. Helen out of Columbus, Ohio. Helen, congratulations at hitting goal. Congratulations on lifetime. Congratulations on your normal blood pressure. Congratulations on having more energy. Congratulations on completely changing your wardrobe. How awesome is that? Congratulations on proving that it's possible. Congratulations on showing other people the path. Congratulations on your confidence. Congratulations on just completely changing your life. I think that's very awesome, and you absolutely should be proud of you. And this is exactly what I was hoping to get when I said, send me what you're proud of. The analogy I like to use a lot, I actually said it today, is kind of this new car analogy, right? If you've ever bought a car, new or a used one for you or whatever, when you finally, for the first time you saw this thing, you were a little bit surprised and it catches you off guard and you're like, that's the one, right? And you buy it. And generally before then, you don't see too many of them. But as soon as you drive home, you pass that car instantly. It passes you 5 other times. And then for the next 3 or 4 months, as you have this brand new car that you're proud of, all you do is pass this car coming at you. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't realize there was 18 million of these things on the planet. Pride is the same way. And joy and success is the same way. And looking for the positive in your life is the same way. If you leave somewhere and you're happy and you're proud of yourself and you look for opportunities to continue to be proud, your brain will start seeking out more opportunities to see them. Your mind suddenly opens up and you're more capable of viewing them. If all you look for is the negative, then what happens is your mind does the exact same thing. It just continues to look for more negative things. Start breaking the habit of looking for things that you're proud of. And that's why I asked, send me what you're proud of. Because it starts the process to train your brain to start looking for things you're proud of. Many people, I'm sure when I said that, they said, well, there's nothing. I open up a lot of my meetings and I say, tell me what you're most proud of in the last 3 days. Right? That's not an easy question. But if I ask you specifically in the last 3 days, and you can answer if you're following along online, in the last 3 days, what are you most proud of? And that exercise forces you to dig into your brain and find something to answer the question. And it may be something that you didn't even know you were proud of, but now that I've asked you the question, you actually have to come up with an answer. And so that's that first step in the exercise, is digging in and finding something you can say, I'm proud of. I'll answer the question for me. I'm most proud of tonight that I'm getting a podcast out. Today was a very long day. It was from, I had a meeting in the morning and I went to work in the afternoon and I went to a workshop tonight. I came home and had a major production due for a sponsor, and then I wanted to get a podcast in. I've had zero rest since 6 o'clock this morning. The first time I'm sitting down now, but the first time I will take a break is as soon as I'm done the podcast. I'm proud of my commitment to continue to hold myself accountable to do this. And through all that, I ate perfectly today too, so I'm actually very proud of that. But so as you find things that you're proud of, then you start looking for more. And then you start looking for more, because I'm going to ask the question again, and I want you to have a much better answer, or not better, a much quicker answer is what I want you to have. So Helen, keep up the amazing work. I'm extremely glad that you're proud of yourself, and that's the way this whole thing works. Having that little 3-month plateau in the middle, that was where the grit and the determination comes in, and you stuck with it with that persistence. Your words, you say, I managed to lose 44.8 pounds. I don't think that's the case. I think you deliberately did it. I think you finally figured out that this was important to you, and then you did it, and then you hit your goal, and you now are Lifetime. If you enjoy this feeling, it's now time to preserve it. It's now time to shift your focus a little bit. Congratulations on crossing what I call the finish line of your weight loss journey. You're in for a whole new challenge at this point. You're in for a whole new race. Everything you now do is different from what you've had to do. So you now have to relearn something. Whether it's relearning how to adjust socially, relearning how to bring different foods back, or just relearning how to just accept the fact that you're no longer going to lose any more weight. That's not an easy decision either. I mean, that's not an easy transition either. For so long, all we wanted to do is lose weight. When that is gone and that's not something you're trying to do, you have to adjust to that as well. So it is a completely new version of yourself. Your mirror will eventually come around. Your mirror will quit showing you the old version of yourself. Your mirror will start showing you who you are. My recommendation always is buy clothes smaller than you think you need, because the smaller the clothes are, the better they fit. And it really helps show off every single bit of your effort. So congratulations, Helen. Very, very proud of you. I'm confident that your story certainly is helpful to anyone just starting out, because the words that you use are, it is possible. It is possible. Anyone can do this with the right mindset. I know that to be true. I believe that to be true. I believe that to be true for you. I believe that to be true for anyone listening. You can do this. I won't ever promise you that it's easy. I promise you that it's possible. Once you know it's possible, you get to figure out how to make it happen for you. That's what this journey is all about. Helen and I agree. You can do this. Take the right mindset. Get yourself in a positive frame of mind. Find the positive things in your life. Tell me what you're proud of. Tell you what you're proud of. Keep looking for them. And you will have whatever success that you're after. It's a promise. This next email comes in out of Houston, Texas. Mary writes in and says, hey, I have a question. I've been thinking about this for about a month now, and I'm thinking you might be able to help me. When I rejoined WW this last time, February 2017, I found your podcast pretty quick after that. I was determined I'm not quitting till I get back to Lifetime. This was all because of your podcast. Well, it's coming up on 2 years or 24 months like you talked about in your presentation to the military. Is 24 months long enough to keep at it? I've lost about 25 pounds. The first year went well. The freestyle year, not so much, only about 3 pounds down. So my question is, how do you know when it's time to stop giving WW your money and move on? All I've known is WW. When I try counting calories, I feel so lost. Which app do I use? And I can't find a food, etc., etc. I've got 16 pounds to go, which will put me at a 40-pound loss, and I will be back at goal. Any advice would be appreciated. I'm so sorry for all you and your family have been through. I'm hoping to see you in Houston, Mary. Mary, thanks for that. Family's doing great, and I appreciate the kind words, so thank you for that. I want to hit a couple things here that you wrote down, but I'm not sure you read them. You got to the point where you said you want to get back to Lifetime, and I assume that to mean back to goal, because once you're lifetime, you're always lifetime. That's sure, that's true. So you want to get back to goal. You're down 25 pounds in that journey. The second year you're down 3, so you're down a total of 28 pounds in your journey back to goal. And now you're wondering if you should stop doing this because it's taking longer than you originally anticipated. So my question to you is, listen, I am not tied to a single program. Certainly I am a WW wellness coach. That is what I do, but I believe every single program works. I don't care if it's keto, paleo, all carbs, no carbs, whatever. Every single program out there, the founder who founded whatever program you want to follow, that founder had success. And because that founder had success, he or she taught that to somebody else. That person had success, and that program grew enough where it landed in your eyes, your view. And so enough people had to have had success or else you would never have heard about it. So every single program works, period. No question about it. Now, does every program fit into your lifestyle? Different question. Does every program make it so that you can stick with it? Different question. Only those questions are you able to answer. So whether you stick with WW or not is a question that only you can answer. The thing that I think is cool about the way you've asked it is that you want to get back to goal, meaning you were there before, which means you've proven that this program works for you. I think that's pretty powerful. You know, I don't know that I would completely abandon something that I knew without a doubt worked. Sure, you're in this middle now where you're kind of trying to figure out what the timeline is going to look like, but what's your plan B? Right? I mean, if you want to start over on a plan B with something that's untested, you know, that's going to take some determination and some grit. And if you want to go down that path, I will certainly walk with you as you do so. But I would much rather you walk down a path that you understand, that you know that you've walked before, and I'd rather you just take another step in that direction and see where you get. So I don't really have a good answer for you, I don't believe. But what I believe is that you have everything you need to be successful. What you have is you. What you have is confidence. What you have is the ability to know that you can do this. What you have is an incredible head start, 28 pounds down into a journey with 16 pounds to go. You're more than halfway there. So I would continue to build on that success. And I would say, okay, I can do this. And so, now let's talk about, you know, in the actual program specifics, if you're going to say, you know, the year of freestyle, you were only down about 3 pounds, I would just ask you to reevaluate how you're following that program. You know, we know that there's many 0-point foods, and you know, one of the common things I see is folks do very well, you know, loading up on 0-point foods for breakfast, 0-point foods for lunch, 0-point foods for dinner, and using all of their points for foods that they are still been addicted to, that they can't quite break the addiction to. That's not the recipe for success. So you kind of have to understand that we are still trying to modify some behavior. So if your version of freestyle is allowing you to continue to eat the way you used to eat, and you know, and it's not working for you, then that's where maybe a readjustment ought to come in. But so I think what you got going for you is an incredible amount of success. I think what you have going for you is you have a community who understands you, and I think you can do this no matter what program you choose. So, you know, and you know the different, calorie counting. Here's an interesting thing about calorie counting. You know, and it works, right? Sure, calorie counting works for many people. But the difference between what I think WW has going for it, and with the difference between that and straight up calorie counting, is if you're calorie counting and you have, and let's just say for math numbers, you have a 2,000 calorie budget for the day, and at 10 o'clock at night you've eaten 1,900 calories, and you have 100 calories left for the day, and you want to eat all your calories, and I hand you an apple, which is, you know, 100 calories or so, and I hand you a cookie, which is 100 calories. At 10:30 at night, no one is picking the apple with their last 100 calories. So what I want you to do is understand this program is designed to get you to think. The program is designed to get you to modify some behavior, because that foundation of a healthy eating pattern is what's going to completely change your life and solidify this. That's what you're after. You're after a complete change, and it's difficult to understand that change is going to be hard. Because we're comfortable in our own skin, and I gotta push you out of that comfort zone to get to a new you, a new place that you may or may not have been before, and that's freedom. That's freedom of ever having to think about this again, because mentally you're confident, mentally you're at goal, mentally you know that you're unstoppable. And I promise you, doing a lot of promises on this episode, but I promise you, when you understand that you are unstoppable, that's when it turns into be truth. And that is when you celebrate. What is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com, click on the WhysAdvice podcast link, send in your celebrations, send in your comments, your questions, send in what you're proud of. I'll work it in as part of the show. You can email in at onair@fatdag.com. I want those emails to come in celebrating, because I want you to be absolutely proud of what you're doing. I want you to start looking for opportunities to continue to prove yourself how awesome you are. Share them with us, share them with the community, and other people will start looking for opportunities for them to be proud of themselves as well. That's what it takes to change your mind. That's what it takes to change the community. And that is what it takes to change the world. Folks, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Whoop, whoop. On YouTube, Sarah says, I have a question. Susan says, I have a question. If you have time, what is your advice for someone who's going on a cruise that doesn't want to gain and knows it's going to happen? Well, the cruise is not what makes the weight gain. So my advice to you is pick a plan. If you're going to go on a cruise every day, it's a different strategy than if you're going on a cruise once a year. It's a different strategy than if you want to cruise once a life. So how often are you cruising matters. And so what is your goal for the cruise? Is your goal for the cruise to gain weight, to lose weight, or to maintain your weight? And then if in your mind you say, I know I'm going to gain weight, then here's the course of action I would say. I would say look at the week before you go on the cruise, do very well, right? Track everything, write it all down, and then write it on paper. When you come back from the cruise, repeat that entire week of the week before the cruise. So buy the exact same groceries, and then instantly get back to your new routine. A cruise is going to be a disruption to your routine. You should establish a healthy routine prior to going, and then that disruption won't be an issue. Some people are able to go on the cruise and that routine continues. It's your choice. You get to make it. So very fun. Let's see. Stephen, good to see you. Haven't seen you in forever. Let's see. Gloria's here. Let's see. I'm scrolling through. Very fun. Bobby says a great idea. Bobby says going on a cruise in March too. I'm going to try to maintain. Yeah, I've seen every version of success on cruises. Really, I've seen people come back, losing 3, 4, 5 pounds. I've seen people come back gaining 3, 4, 5 pounds. I've seen people come back with no gain. I've seen all three scenarios. So they all work. It really they all work. It's just a matter of the biggest piece is your mental reaction to whatever that's gonna be. So pick a course of action and monitor and have that plan. But I'm a big fan of repeating things that work. So again, if the week before your cruise or the week your best week on plan, what that looks like, right? So repeat that when you start, even if you're not going on a cruise. If you start running into stumbling blocks, repeat a week that worked, right? Don't try and recreate it and just, you can't repeat it week after week after week after week after week. But that's a great little reset is repeat what worked when it was working really well. So Mary says, FatDag and Jane convinced me to stick with it. On vacation now and tracked and got 26,000 steps. That's pretty cool. That's a lot of steps. Very, very fun. Yeah, Debbie says they have great exercise groups and gyms on the cruises. Yeah, I have never been on a cruise. So, and I truly have no desire to go on a cruise. Zero. So, and Jeff said there's plenty of room to walk on a cruise ship. I hear that to be true. No clue, no desire, but I understand the strategy. So, it's kind of like everything else. It's the kind of the analogy to going to a sporting event, right? If football season's still in swing, if you're going to a playoff game or something like that, the food at the stadium is going to be certainly different. If you work at the stadium, it's a different strategy than if you're going to a single playoff game one time a year. Completely different strategy. So you've got to figure out which strategy you want to employ and make it work. Barb says, I would think they would have plethora of fresh fruits and vegetables on a cruise. I bet you they do. Yep. So Bobby says, this is my first time. Welcome. Jane says, I want to go on the WW Spain cruise in July. Sounds fun. Zero desire to go on a cruise. Zero. So that's okay. Just not my thing, right? Let's see. Anne says, usually walk more and you're being very discriminate on what you eat, but you do indulge. I get zero issue with that, right? But have a plan for afterwards. Because what happens when you indulge is what happens is you start reigniting some of those sugar addictions and some of those bad habits. You overeat a little bit, so your stomach starts feeling. You get that expanded feeling that gives you that feels full feeling. And we know, or at least I know, if I feel full, I've overeaten. If I feel content, then that's where I want to live content or just slightly hungry. To me, that's the best feelings when I have just a slight hunger, not a hangry kind of hunger, but I have just a slight hunger or content. That's ideal. If I feel full, I've way overdone it. I know that. So the indulging brings that feeling and makes the feeling of full to start to feel normal again. And so I don't want that feeling of feeling full. So the indulging, is what pushes that. But when that feeling starts to become comfortable, then you start eating again to get that feeling back. And I don't want you to have the feeling. So that's number one. And then the other thing that happens is like I said, if you had gone, it's like I have not had caffeine in about 7 months. I've not had soda in probably 3 years. I think over 3 years. Not had a drop of soda, and in the last 7 months, not a drop of caffeine. I'm pretty confident that if you brought me a Coke tonight and I drank it, I would probably have another quickly because that taste would be like, whatever. I just don't want it, and I'm okay with that. So, but you're reigniting you're reigniting those addictions, and I want you to break those addictions off and be done with it. So Delilah says, just so disappointed. Blue dots every day. Exercise. Sigh. I missed a previous comment because that sounds like an awesome day. Exercise every day and blue dots. Congratulations. Nicole says, hi, I've never made a live show. So excited. Hi. Welcome. Barb says, I agree 100%. Awesome. And that's very cool. Marcia says, how I eat now. Exactly. And then Connie says, I agree. Just a little bit hungry. And I'm not talking hangry. Not even a little bit hangry. But if you're just a touch hungry, that feels, to me, honestly, when I feel just a tiny bit hungry, it's the comforting feeling. I know we're not going to run out of food anytime soon around here, so that's kind of cool. But that's a cool feeling, and it feels way better than the I hate too much feeling. Let's see. Delilah says only lost 0.6. Yay! Congratulations on your loss. Very, very proud of you. That's phenomenal work. Keep it up. 0.6 a week times 52 weeks is well over 26, 27 pounds a year. Phenomenal work. Excellent work. There aren't too many people on the planet that wouldn't take that success and run with it. 0.6 per week. Fantastic effort. Congratulations. And you did that deliberately. Even better. You did that by tracking. You did that by exercising. You did that by changing your life. Congratulations. Bobby says the Thanksgiving full is gross. Yeah, I agree. Susan says, so happy to be here tonight. I agree. I'm happy to be here too. Glenda says, to me, a little hungry actually makes good choices. Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? If you're just a little bit hungry when you eat something really good, it's like, oh, this was good, but very fun. Jane says, the stuffed feeling was always how I felt after many years of stuffing my feelings with food. Yep, it's miserable. Like I said, if you feel full, you've overeaten. When you're like, oh, so, yeah, it's too much. And what happens, right? This is what the thing I'm one of the things I'm most proud of in this journey is I used to live there. I would eat until I actually felt full, and then 15 to 20 minutes after that meal, I was miserably full. And so it took me a long time to understand that if I stopped eating before I was full, I would be okay, and then 10 to 15 minutes later, I would be content. I was kind of afraid that if I didn't eat until I was full, then I would be hungry later, quickly, or rather quickly. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to ever be hungry, so I was eating to not ever be hungry. So I had to learn and trust when I developed when you're at a point, stop eating points. It took me some time to understand that you're going to be okay. You can have a small meal for dinner, and you will probably live through it and wake up the next morning feeling content. And you won't have to go sit on the couch and go, oh, I ate too much. So, yeah, anyway, that's my thought on that. You guys know me, right? You ask a question and you get an answer. It's kind of fun. Glenda says, I'm a binge eater, but working on that. Guilty, right? Yeah. And Debbie says, overeating makes you want to overeat. That's exactly what happens. Right? Because that full feeling starts to feel what normal is. Your body thinks that's what normal should feel like. So breaking your body of feeling that full feeling to a content feeling is what we're after. So if you always eat to the point where you're full, then it's hard, and that's why the cruise is difficult, because if you had that feeling before and you reignite that feeling, then your brain starts to believe that that's what you're supposed to feel like, and then you'll overeat even on the 0 point stuff to get that full feeling, and it's still too much. So anyway, that's the dealio there. So, whew. What else do you want to talk about? That's all I got on that. I think I hit that topic pretty well, meaning over well. Well done. So, so episode 246. That's what this is. Let's see. Tomorrow is Janine's birthday, so we got to make sure we do something cool for that. I'm not sure what, but I'll do something. And then, yeah, Bobby says, such a great topic. You should not have to unbutton your pants. Connie says, been losing my taste for chocolate over the last 3 years. Yep. Yeah, I'll eat it. I don't eat candy anymore. I mean, if it's here on occasion, I'll have a piece or two, but I don't go deliberately buy it anymore. That's kind of the difference for me. I still have some issue with if someone else buys it. I like to taste it, but I very rarely am I actually making the deliberate action to go purchase it, which is a complete change. And so, referring now back to the podcast, is that when you get to that place when you're proud of yourself and you're happy with yourself and you're excited about yourself, that's truly the feeling I have right now, and that's what I call goal. I don't care what the scale says to that extent. I'm monitoring it. I'm checking it every day with it. I know that I'm eating. Even today, I have no idea what the scale will say in the morning, but I know my plan. What I ate today was great. I'm happy with every choice I made all day long. I'm happy with choices I said no to all day long. Content, Right now, I mean, I could eat a whole pizza right now. I'm at the point where I know I could. I don't want it, but that's the feeling. Like I'm not full by any stretch. I'm just content. But that content means you can always, when you're content though, you can always eat, which is where we have to bring in that control to go, okay, just because I can eat doesn't mean I need to. Different scenario, for sure. Dina says, I can't buy Cheez-Its, zero self-control. Yeah, there's a couple things. Cheez-Its are not one of them for me, but there are a couple things that I still am not able to close the bag on. So my control is I asked nicely for us to not buy them. You know, it's like, hey, listen, I know we buy these, but I yet still don't have the ability to close the bag. So let's just not buy them. Bobby says, I want a whole pizza, but I won't. Right. Jane says, I have an appointment with my physical trainer tomorrow morning. One of my Christmas presents. So lucky and happy. That's awesome. I met with mine this morning. And so I don't know if you saw on Twitter, my first tweet this morning was a quote from, well, in a quote, we worked on it together. I went to the gym this morning and my trainer said, come on, Mike, let's make it happen. And I said, well, we can either make it happen or we can let it happen. And I'm choosing to make it happen. That plays into everything we do. You got to be deliberate, right? That's still our word. You have to be deliberate in your actions. If you're deliberate, you can go make things happen. If you're not deliberate, things will happen to you, and then you're just letting it happen. I don't want that. I don't want that to be you. I want you to make it happen. Right? So you can either make it happen or let it happen. So, cool. All right, let me push this out to the app. I want to get that out so you guys can hear it tomorrow. Other than that, that's all I got. Connie closes out saying, thin cookies are bad for me. Agreed. So, all right. Jane confirms, I like that. Make it happen. So, on that note, episode 246 is in the books. Truly, always want to thank all of you guys, patrons who stepped up. You guys really are what's making this thing continue to go. You're keeping me accountable. You're keeping me focused. And you're providing the support for me to build this plan and make this so much more than it ever possibly was meant to be. So thank you, all of you, for that. Truly my honor to walk this journey with you, celebrate with you, laugh with you, cry with you. It's such an amazing, amazing community. So I appreciate every single one of you. Dina says good night. Marie says good night. Connie says another great one, Mike. So thank you for that. On that note, game plan for me, just to give you some idea scheduling wise. Tomorrow, Janine's birthday. So not sure if doing a podcast on your wife's birthday makes a lot of sense or not. I'll make that decision tomorrow. But that's a decision I get to make tomorrow. And then Saturday, Sunday, no major plans. So look for something on Saturday and Sunday. Monday, I'm off. So that's good. And then we roll into Tuesday. Tuesday, we'll probably be back to that episode of Ask Me Anything type thing. So I'll do a 20-minute show on Tuesday night after my workshop on Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, not sure. Friday, and then that next weekend, Houston. So, woo! Busy week. FatDag.com, the event calendar is usually pretty accurate. So keep up an eye on that. But other than that, thank you for being here. This journey, you guys know this, right? I've said it more than once. Nothing to do with luck. 100% you getting focused on what your goals are, making decisions that align and support that goal. Ask yourself, does this action align with my goal? Does it push me closer to my goal, or does it push me further away from my goal? If you ask yourself that question every single time and you get it right often, you're going to have success because you've changed your habits. So I don't wish you good luck at all. I wish you good focus and good night. Take care.